God. So I just give you that illustration with a mission trip because it's the same with our lives. We're all on a mission trip.
Yes.
Right now. All of us. We're all living a life of going.
Yes.
And everything around us is a mission field. We'll be able to upload, as I said, more of the pictures and more of the things that happened. But a couple of my favorite moments was out in front of a restaurant or out on the street, leading one-on-one people to Christ.
Amen.
So it's not about the crusades or about just being in front of a large crowd. And I thank God we saw somewhere in the neighborhood of 450 people give their hearts to Christ.
Amen.
Amen. We had another water baptism this time.
Amen.
The tank close to the church, and by the way, we did, the car then did move, and after an hour on the Mozambican border, we made it up for 8 hours there all together, so we were an hour and a half late for the first night of the crusade in Mozambique, and we were actually supposed to be about 5 hours early, so could go to the lodge and change into appropriate clothing, and so that didn't happen. We drove up an hour and a half late, and about the time we drove up, I watched as a few sprinkles of water hit the windshield of their vehicle. So as we drive up and get out, it's sprinkling now. There's been no rain the whole trip. Don't go. That's what he says. And I hope you see the analogies in this is, of course, just praying, asking the Lord about sharing, and the desire to share about the trip. And yet he puts his finger on this part of the trip. There's so many other things to share, but he puts his finger on this part of the trip because he says, Ronnie, even as it was quite obvious and you know in your heart that the enemy fought so much the work of God in Mozambique because there's so much devastation, there's so much healing that is needed, and there is so much, as you know, you saw it, so much witchcraft, so much bondage, so much immorality. And because of those immoral practices, along with the witchcraft and all the other things, there's so many possessed. So they do a little more worship, and our pastor gets up, and then as she's preparing to call me up, it becomes a downpour. So sprinkling, they were pressing on, and now she has the mic, and she's about to introduce me to come up and preach, and it literally breaks open to a full-fledged downpour. So, I'm expecting everyone that was there to just run to wherever their houses were. And I'm sure a few did. It was hard to keep up with all that was going on because I watched this massive group rush to the stage, and they packed in on the stage, a little bit like the Cersei Complex, where those of you that were part of the Freedom Fest that we held, it has the stage there and a roof over it, only not that nice and not quite that big. And so they rushed the stage. There's at least there's 100 plus packed in like this on the stage. Our pastor, I got to spend a lot of time with her husband, and he's one of those, she's the preacher, she's the one that does the preaching, but he's one of those that is quiet, but when he says something, you know, you want to take note of it.
Amen.
Just a very wise man, wise leader. And so you see the cohesiveness and the working together in that ministry. And so I was so thankful when she said, because the roof of that stage was tin. And so in a downpour, you understand that it's beating down on tin. To be heard is going to be very difficult. So I was relieved when she said, Adrian, she said, evangelist is going to come on up, but he'll be preaching tomorrow night. You won't be able to hear him tonight, but he's going to come and pray for all of you. So I go up on stage and just say a couple of words about the miraculous power of God, and we just start praying. People are shoulder to shoulder like this, and then some start manifesting demons. You have to get that picture in your mind.